Well, we got the old hood up here on the Jeep, CJ-5, and this is a 223 AMC motor. Some people tell me it's a Ford. Not sure, but it's 223 AMC as far as I'm concerned. And anyway, this is a nickel copper brake line that I ran to the fuel tank. That's what I've used for fuel line. And I've got the fuel pump here normally just going up to the carburetor like it's supposed to. What happens is this, over the period of anything more than 4 or 5 days, we lose all the fuel out of the carburetor. And I'm not sure if that's a carburetor issue dripping and leaking out, or if it's just a vacuum being pulled here and I'm losing all my prime. But I did find, finally, I found the fuel pump that I had bought for it. Bought it off of Napa. It's probably Napa junk like most stuff, but you know, we'll find out. It might be good, you never know. I've bought some stuff off them I was happy with, some stuff I haven't been. But anyway, you're supposed to have this fairly close to the tank level. And I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it. I was thinking about putting it right down here, somewheres on this fender. But I also may put it on the frame. I got to do some studying here, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, I went over in my junk, found this piece of chrome moly. Don't know if it's quite 1/8 inch. I'd say it's 100 thousandths, but it's plenty strong enough for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this base right here after I cut this all out. We'll mount this at a 45. That'll bring this right down near the height of the frame rail so that I don't have any real draw as far as, you know, how much draft I got there. And yeah, so I'm going to do some work here on this. Real simple. I'll bring you back in a few. So I made a slice with a grinder about halfway through and then bent the metal. And then I welded it back up after I bent it, because you can't bend this without heat if you don't. Stuff's just too tough. But it's all right. It's going to be plenty strong. So that's going to bolt down on the frame down here. Right back here. Like so. Right behind that fender. And then that's going to bolt right on that right there. And as you can see, I just marked the 2 spots. I'm going to go drill in and I'll be back. Well, I just cut this piece of line off. And when I did, of course, I'm down here on the frame height, and I've put the rubber hose onto it just to get it up in the air. If you put it down at the same elevation, you see fuel comes out. So, you know, I was hoping I was going to do this dry, but that's all right. We're still doing good. We're going to bolt it right up here anyway. We'll see if it'll fit here in a second. Well, I've been making progress slowly but surely. I got my ground hooked up. Comes down, goes to ground. The positive, I got it fished through the wire loom. Carol actually had to come down and help me. I couldn't get it through by myself, but we got it done. And everything's all secure down here. And doesn't vibrate, you know. It's solid, which is what I want. All I got to do is get a hose from here to here, and the fuel part of it will be done. And I still got a little bit of wire here to shove through. I got a bunch extra in there because, you know, it's a lot easier to trim it than it is to add a piece. This is my wire I just shoved through. Got plenty of it. And one of these switches, I don't know if it's this one or this one. One of them isn't used. Well, I ain't got the power on now anyway. Yeah, I'll figure that out here in a minute and I'll show you. Well, I got the fuel line there run from the pump up. It's good enough I can get into the oil filter good. So I left it a little slack. I didn't want it tight because, you know, the motor moves all the time. And over here, all I got left to do in there is I'm going to put a switch over here in the center. And I was going to use this bottom one right here. And it's not hooked up to nothing right now. But I forgot. Pretty sure it's this gray wire right here is being fed. And what I was originally going to do was put a dome light in the hood out here. So if you're somewhere after dark and something frigs up, you can at least have a light here. And I don't want to cut that out, so I decided I'm going to leave it. I just got to fish a power wire in there and put a light switch, and we'll be able to try the fuel pump, see if it works. Well, as you can see, I just ran the wires right there. To get this dash off and get up into the actual wiring harness up here, you know, you get on, do the steering column, and it's a job. All this stuff up here has got to come off. But, ran it over here. Does nothing until you turn the key on. I don't know if you can hear this or not. But, she's up. It's all pumped up anyway. So, it's not making much noise. But anyway, yeah, seems to be doing all right. I got it all done, and me and Carol, she came down just as I was finishing up. And I was talking to her when I started it and backed it out, so I didn't get it on video. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna work. Old girl's cold. We're gonna go for a little jaunt, give her some exercise, and I'll take the camera along. We might find something pretty to see, you never know. Yeah, we're cruising around over here in New Hampshire. Just happened to stop right here. It's kind of pretty. Beautiful evening, about 50 degrees. Plus we got the munchkins with us. Old Moxie and Diesel. Yeah. Yeah. Get it off magnification. We can get you guys both in the frame. Yeah, so anyway, we just, this is Route 153? Yep. Route 153. It'll come out over on 25 in about another 15, 20 miles. And it'll make a loop back home. So anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. The Jeep's running great. Apparently the fuel pump, everything was tight enough, it worked. So anyway, that's all it's gonna be. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep safe, everybody, and don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. I don't know if you can see that very good because it's a long ways off, but most of the color, it's almost dark too. Most of the color has actually gone by in our area. Just the oaks and the beeches, and you know, some of the birches are gold or yellow. This is going down Orchard Road there, just a couple miles from the house. We actually live over in this area over here, but not too far away. So anyway, pretty area.